Welcome to the Crystal Self-Healer Podcast. I'm Carissa Weaver. On this podcast, we blend the magic of crystals with the science of psychology to help you break free from chaos, ditch the overwhelm, and master your emotions so you can have more energy, get more done, and feel better every day. Get ready to unlock your intuition and restore your true power as we cover how you can transform your life using crystals and self-awareness. Are you ready to get started? All right, let's go. The world feels a little extra chaotic these days, doesn't it? Territorial conflicts, political clashes, concerns about money and financial security. It's a lot to hold. It's no wonder so many of us feel unsteady, like the ground beneath us is constantly shifting. But even beyond the headlines, uncertainty seeps into our personal lives in ways that feel just as overwhelming. And it's not just the big global things. Job losses, relationship challenges, health concerns, schedule changes, these all create uncertainty too. They shake up what we thought was stable, they disrupt our plans, and make us question our ability to move forward. If you've been feeling particularly unsteady recently, this episode is for you. We are going to dive into how uncertainty shows up in our lives and the ways we try to cope. Ironically, one of the things we normally do can leave you feeling more stuck, so we're going to focus on how to navigate uncertainty with crystals to create a more empowered life. Uncertainty is a natural part of life. But let's be honest, it's not exactly comfortable. And right now, it feels like uncertainty is everywhere. Think about it. You wake up to news about political turmoil or economic instability. You go to work and wonder if your job is secure. You think about your relationships, your health, your schedule, and you realize just how much of it is outside your control. And that can leave you feeling anxious, fearful, even defeated. When the circumstances you're facing seem outside of your control or influence, you lose sight of the big picture and instead focus on avoiding immediate discomfort. When that happens, you'll tend to make decisions from a place of fear instead of confidence. I often see my clients making rules for themselves about what they should or can do in order to deal with uncertainty. And over time, these rules create an operating manual that they feel they need to conform to. For example, have you ever thought, I can't speak up in this meeting because people might think I'm difficult? Or I shouldn't share my opinion because it's not what others want to hear? These are fear-driven scripts, and they're designed to protect you from the uncertainty of a negative outcome, like rejection or criticism. Here's the thing. We all have scripts running in the background of our minds, stories we tell ourselves about who we are, what we're capable of, and what the world expects from us. Some of these scripts come from past experiences, while others come from societal norms telling us who we should be. Uncertainty has a way of making us forget our own power. It convinces us to play small, to avoid the unknown at all costs. But here's the thing. Avoiding uncertainty doesn't make it go away. It just creates a new kind of discomfort, the discomfort of being stuck. These scripts don't have to keep you stuck in a cycle of silence and frustration. When we're faced with uncertainty, our brain kicks into overdrive. Our brains are wired to seek control, to keep us safe. It's a survival mechanism, right? But the ways we try to create that control isn't always helpful. Let's break this down. Imagine you're dealing with a tough situation. Maybe it's job instability or an upcoming family gathering that might get tense. Instead of addressing the issue head on, you start running scenarios. What if this happens? What if I can't handle that? It's exhausting. And here's what often happens next. We create rules. Rules like don't take risks, stay quiet, Don't expect too much. On the surface, these rules feel like they're keeping you safe, but in reality, they're keeping you stuck. Now let's look at another layer of this. When you follow fear-driven rules, you're also reinforcing stories about yourself. Stories like, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve to take up space, I'm not capable of handling rejection. These stories aren't facts. They're narratives shaped by past experiences or societal expectations. And when you let these stories guide your decisions, you're giving away your power, your agency. What you need to know is fear-driven rules are rigid. They don't allow for flexibility or growth, and they're often based on assumptions, not reality. Let me give you another example. Imagine you're at work and you've been holding back from sharing an idea because you're afraid of being judged or dismissed. So you follow your rule, stay quiet, it's safer. But then someone else speaks up with a similar idea and they get the credit for it. Now you're stuck with the regret of not taking that chance. You're frustrated you didn't trust yourself enough to take a chance, and you realize that the fear-driven rule has left you feeling more powerless than before. This cycle repeats because the rules we create in the face of uncertainty don't solve the problem. They just delay it. And every time we follow those rules, we reinforce the fear that created them in the first place. When we act from fear, we lose sight of our values and goals. Instead of making choices with our eyes open, understanding why we're compromising or taking a certain path, we default to avoidance, and avoidance rarely leads to the outcomes we want. So how do we disrupt this cycle? It starts with awareness and a willingness to rewrite the rules. The first step in breaking free from fear-driven rules is recognizing them. Ask yourself, what rules am I following right now? Are these rules rooted in fear, or are they supporting my growth? Once you've identified a rule, get curious about it. Where did it come from? Is it based on a past experience or a fear of something that hasn't even happened yet? Then start to reframe it. Instead of, I can't take risks because I might fail, try, I'll take this chance because I trust myself to handle whatever comes next. Instead of, I can't speak up because I might fail, try, I'll share my thoughts because they matter and I trust myself to handle what comes next. This is where ritual comes in. Rituals aren't just routines, they're intentional practices that ground you in the present and remind you of your power. It's about creating rituals that feel supportive and expansive for you. These are practices that bring you back to yourself when the world feels overwhelming. For example, you could establish a morning meditation practice to set a peaceful and positive tone for your day. You could incorporate a journaling practice to gain awareness of your thoughts and to process your fears and reconnect with your values. Or you could invite the energy of crystals into your day to calm your mind and support your desired state of being. The goal isn't to eliminate uncertainty. It's to navigate it in a way that feels aligned with who you are. The key is to make these rituals flexible. Life is unpredictable, and the art of navigating uncertainty is holding your goal in mind while being open to how it unfolds. Flexibility doesn't mean lowering your standards, it means adapting to circumstances while staying aligned with your values. You're less likely to feel derailed by uncertainty. Think of it as balancing structure with flow. There's an amazing upside to shifting away from fear-driven rules. Each time you choose to reframe a fear-based belief or take action from a place of curiosity, you'll reinforce the idea that you can handle uncertainty. This will anchor in as self-trust, grounding yourself even when the world feels unsteady. When you let go of the rigid rules, you free up energy you would have been spending on controlling outcomes. It will be easier to make decisions that stay aligned with what matters most to you, and you'll be able to see opportunities where only fear and worry resided before. You'll also create a more solid connection and trust in your intuition and inner voice. You'll find it easier to trust your instincts, honor your needs, and feel at home within yourself, no matter what's happening outside of you. Uncertainty doesn't have to feel like a force that takes away your choices. With these shifts, you'll see it as something you can navigate with intention. You'll begin to approach the unknown with confidence, knowing that whatever happens, you'll adapt and grow. It's not just about surviving the uncertain. It's about stepping into your power and thriving within it. You can find a link in the show notes for the Charmed Morning Ritual worksheet that will support you in implementing the steps we've just covered here. You can download it for free and start creating calm in the middle of all the uncertainty around you right now. I'm going to offer fluorite as the crystal to work with when you're wanting to navigate uncertainty with clarity and courage. Fluorite helps you cut through the mental fog and confusion so you can identify what's truly important to you. It will support you in giving you the mental space to release old rules that no longer serve you so you can embrace new ways of thinking. Fluorite can help create a sense of inner peace by working to stabilize the emotions that are stirred up by uncertainty. You'll be able to move through uncertainty without feeling overwhelmed, but able to stay present and centered. Fluorite is supportive in discerning how you want to respond to a difficult situation. It will guide you to trust your inner wisdom and make choices that are aligned and feel right to you. Fluorite can also help you overcome fear of the future. By supporting you in thinking through your feelings and the circumstances in front of you, you'll be equipped to bring structure and focus to chaos and uncertainty. To take this work deeper and apply it to your life, join me inside the Crystal Self-Healer Members Portal. You'll get my 3-step framework to help you go from uncertain and anxious to calm and confident, all customized to your unique circumstances. Inside, you get access to courses, workbooks, and tools to guide your growth. Plus, you'll be supported in sacred space with monthly energy healings and rituals that keep you grounded and aligned as you create the life you want. Just head over to 3charmgems.com or use the link in the show notes to sign up, and I'll see you inside. Today's episode has been brought to you by Fluorite and Rules. May we all shine light on where our fears are creating unhelpful rules so we can reframe uncertainty into opportunities for growth. Blessed be, my friends. All right, my friends, that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you for joining me here today on the Crystal Self-Healer podcast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, leave a review, and take the What Crystal is Best for You quiz linked in the show notes. Join me again next week as we continue to demystify crystals, how your brain works, and how you can use them so you can have more energy, get more done, and feel better every day.